It all started after the 2017 NBA draft, aka the draft that Jimmy Butler got traded to the Timberwolves. A young Bulls fan by the name of Uriel NBA didn't know what to think. He was in shock that Jimmy G Buckets just got traded. Days went by and he didn't know what to do. But there is still hope, and the hope's name was Lauri Markkanen. If Markkanen turned out to be a good player, all Uriel NBA's nightmares of the Bulls trading Jimmy away would be gone. Uriel NBA proceeded to watch Bulls games, and Markkanen turned into a good player, and Uriel NBA was excited. But the Bulls were losing. But that was a good thing though, because they would get a top 3 draft pick in the 2018 NBA draft, and that top 3 pick could turn out to be players like Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, or Luka Doncic. But then Nikola Mirotic out of nowhere turned into a god and led the Chicago Bulls to a win streak, even though when the Bulls were actually trying to win the year before, he was garbage. Anyways, the Bulls had to trade him because he wasn't part of the team's future and they didn't need wins right now. And the Bulls did trade him, but the damage was already done, and the Bulls got the 6th best odds to get the number 1 pick, and Uriel NBA was sad because he watched the whole Bulls season and all the times they were losing just for the 6th pick in the NBA draft. And then when he thought it couldn't get any worse, it happened. The Bulls fell down in the draft lottery to the 7th pick. Uriel NBA was visibly in tears and didn't know what to do. He was sad and mad at the same time. All of his dreams of watching the Bulls win the title in his lifetime were drifting away. But there was still hope though. A player by the name of Mohamed Bamba. He was a really good player in college, and some mock drafts had him falling down to the 7th pick to the Bulls. It seemed like destiny that Mo Bamba would be in a Bulls jersey after the 2018 NBA draft. But then the draft comes along and Uriel NBA was excited that the Bulls would get Mo Bamba, and it seemed like it was going to be a reality when after the 5th pick Mo Bamba was still on the board. But then the freaking magic of all franchises had the 6th pick, 1 pick before the Bulls. But Uriel NBA was not worried because the Magic had too much good centers already, like Bismack Biyombo, Jonathan Isaac, Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, so he knew that the Magic were going to select the point guard Colin Sexton with the 6th pick. And then Adam Silver comes out with the Magic's draft select, and he said it, Uriel NBA's most feared words.
With the 6th pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic select Mohamed Bamba.
Uriel NBA was in awe. He was about to cry. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to go step on Legos repeatedly. He wanted to go punch a hole in wall, but he couldn't because then his mom would be mad and probably like yell at him. Okay, in his mind he kept replaying the draft lottery. If only the Bulls didn't fall down in the draft lottery, Mohamed Bamba might be in a Bulls jersey right now. But then he hears the commissioner of the NBA come back out with the Bulls selection, and they choose Wendell Carter Jr. from Duke University. And later in the draft, at the 22nd pick, the Bulls selected Chandler Hutchison from Boise State University. And immediately after the draft, Uriel NBA went and watched highlights and looked at stats of those 2 players. And now here are his thoughts and opinions on the Bulls draft 2018. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Uriel NBA video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls, my favorite team, and their 2018 draft selections. So they selected Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick, and I think my first reaction to the pick was relatively bad.
Like, I'm not mad that they picked Wendell, but come on, MPJ's better. Oh.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run, the night goes on.
Because I just thought that Michael Porter Jr. would have a higher ceiling in the NBA, and it turns out his injury is actually like pretty serious, because there have been reports saying that he might not even play his first season, and he felt and he fell to the 14th pick. There must be something that the teams know that we don't know. So maybe the injury is more concerning than us fans know. I think the Bulls just made a safe pick, and it was the right pick because Wendell Carter's not even that bad. Like, I was watching highlights and looking at his stats and stuff, and he can rebound really well. He can protect the rim really well, and he has all the intangibles. He hustles for loose balls. He does everything that doesn't really show up on his stat sheet, like hustle for loose balls, play good defense, protect the rim and stuff like that. And he could just like be an overall good player. Like, he could be like an Al Horford who, like, he's not really a superstar, but he will be like a really good player that on a team with a system, he would just do everything to let the team win. He might not be the first option, but he would just do everything to have the team win. Wendell Carter is actually a pretty good three-point shooter and a mid-range shooter, and he could score in the low post. It's actually good that he's a pretty good post scorer because, like, then the other team won't double team because they won't leave Lauri Markkanen open, and if they do leave Lauri Markkanen open, that's a wide open three for a good shooter. And Wendell Carter could just help the defense overall because the Bulls, they kind of need help on defense. A good rim protector, and he could protect the rim really well. But the only downside is that we don't know if he could like switch onto guards and guard them. But you know, he might be able to improve on that. And then there's also Chandler Hutchison. He was a pretty good pick, the 22nd pick. The Bulls needed a small forward. He's a small forward. He's a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good perimeter defender. He's a pretty good three-point shooter. He's pretty good at attacking the rim, and he's just an overall good player. He's tall. I think he could turn into like an above-average role player. Like, he could do stuff that helps the team win, just like Wendell Carter. So I just think the Bulls just made the two right picks because, like, Wendell Carter could just do everything to help the team win. He might be able to become an all-star, and you know, he would just help the team win in every way, shape, and form. And he's a good scorer, a good three-point shooter. He's a good rebounder, and he's a good rim protector. And Chandler Hutchison, he's a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good shooter. He's an above-average role player in my opinion, and maybe he could turn into an all-star one day. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think the Bulls just made the safe pick because Michael Porter Jr. back injuries are really tough to overcome. The reports that the Nuggets said that he might not be able to play in the first season, that's worrying because, like, you know, maybe he won't be able to come back. But yeah, I just think the Bulls made the right choice, the safe choice, and I think Wendell Carter Jr. and Chandler Hutchison are actually going to be two pretty good players in the league. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you next time.